Today we're here with Daniel Cheong. Thanks for joining us at Landscape Hunters.
My pleasure.
And beautiful view at Marina Bay and Singapore River. Behind we've got Marina Bay Sands. Got a couple questions for you while you're here.
Sure.
We'd like to find out a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
First question, what was your first digital camera?
Okay, if you're talking about my very first digital camera, was in '97. It was an Olympus VGA camera. I mean, it was pretty crappy, but it was cool at that time. But if you mean my first DSLR camera, I bought it in Singapore back in 2006. It was a Sony A100.
A100?
Yes. So the first in that group of, you know, Sony had a A100 and Nikon had the D80 and Canon had one that I don't remember, but you know.
350, 300D.
Maybe, yeah,
300D.
300D maybe, yeah.
Yes.
So I went for the Sony at that time.
Okay.
For actually, I wanted to buy the Nikon, but the VR lens was so expensive that I went for the Sony, who had the in-body stabilization, so I could get cheaper lenses, still having some stabilization.
I've read some of your blog and see some of the, you know, your about me and such, and you say you're a rooftopper.
Yeah.
Right? What prompted you to start rooftoping for your as a genre in photography?
Yeah, actually, you know, it was not about getting on the rooftop to take a shot. It was simply getting to a vantage point for me, which would make the city looks very appealing visually. So whether it's a rooftop or it could be a balcony. So you know, because some people, it's really about getting on the rooftop and then to get a shot from there. But for me, it's more like getting on a high vantage point, whether it's a rooftop or a balcony, and I'm very happy with that. But for me, that's where the city looks the most beautiful from a high vantage point. It's almost like you will take an aerial. Actually, some people think that some of my shots are taken from an helicopter, but actually, no, it's just a very, I mean, especially in Dubai, where you can reach like 100 floors on some balconies, so it's pretty nice.
Okay. Continuing with the idea of rooftopping, there's been a lot of press about Russians, Eastern Bloc, and they're climbing up to.
Yeah, but I mean those daredevils, they are called. This is not about the photography that they get from the rooftop. It's about the photography of them getting on the rooftop.
So selfies.
Yeah. So they're not, for me, they're not cityscape photographers. They just want to get attention just by showing themselves and selfie on the top of a spire. I mean, they have guts to go there for sure. But for me, it's not about cityscape or landscape photography. It's a different thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Getting up at that height, I'm not sure. I don't suffer from vertigo, but do you, or did you ever suffer from vertigo?
Yeah. Strangely, a few years ago, I was not feeling comfortable, let's say, when I was looking down from a balcony. But I guess it went away. So I don't know whether it's because I started to go on the rooftops and sometimes having to climb a ladder, which is pretty scary. I mean, it's okay when you have to climb on a vertical ladder to reach the rooftop. The worst part is always getting down, because you have to go backwards, you know, and get your feet down the ladder. That's the scary part, which I don't like, but I eventually got used to it. But sometimes that's the only way to reach a rooftop.
Right.
Yeah.
Not really photography related, but if you could live and settle in any city in the world at this moment, where would you go?
You know, I've been to 8 different cities and 7 different countries in the world. If you would ask me for the pure photography aspect, and also with a good compromise with the weather, okay, it's not because I'm Singapore, but I would put Singapore on the top list, and also like Hong Kong. Dubai, I love it, but the weather, I mean, there are basically 4 months where you cannot shoot there. It's too hot, it's too humid, your lens get fog, and it takes hours to defog. So, but you know, I love Singapore with the very modern architecture, and also Hong Kong, which is a very particular cityscape with all the skyscrapers on those hills. So it's pretty unique. Yeah.
how did your photography evolve to what it is today, from a rooftopper to
well,
other genres?
yeah, of course, you know, I started in Singapore and I was really attracted to cityscapes, and of course I moved to Dubai again. I'm in another big city, so I've been shooting a lot of cityscape, and I still don't feel bored about it. But recently I've been to Nepal. Then it was my first kind of attempt at street photography, and I really enjoyed it. And 2 months ago I was in USA, in Oregon, where really I was more like with the rivers, waterfalls, mountains. So that was my really first landscape photography session, and I'm going back there in 1 month to shoot again. So I'm still a landscape / cityscape, and occasionally a bit of street, and even modeling. I did a few in Mauritius.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think we are running into blue
yeah,
hour.
So it's time.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Thank you for letting me here.
And
yeah,
enjoy
let's
the rest
shoot.
of the night for shooting.
Okay. Thanks a lot.